know, the creative end of things, I don't even remember exactly when that started, but I love making things with my hands. I love doing quilts and blankets for babies and little pillows for kids and little dolls and animals and just all kinds of things. We could sell at our church fair, and I'd be involved with that every time we had a fair. It's still, my sewing machine is one of my best friends. You know, I use it a lot, and it's really stood up well through the years. I've had it since the late 80s, and it's been perfect for me. I've never been an artist, I don't think. I mean, it's not, I can't draw well, but I can design things. And so I've designed some quilts and some other things that mean a lot to me. I guess that the quilting has taken on its own life. I worked in a quilt shop for a couple of years and took classes and learned how to do a good job, you know. That's been very, very special. And I've done some nice things for people. Most of the stuff goes out of the house. It doesn't stay here. I have very little of my own that I created. It's all gone.
Did you take pictures of it?
Hmm?
Take pictures of it?
I can't hear well.
Did you take pictures of it?
I did for a while, and somewhere in the house there's a stack of pictures of quilts that have gone out. Rosie has one. All the kids have gotten a quilt. The grandchildren have gotten blankets or quilts, and the great-grandchildren I'm working on now. I'm kind of pokey at it, but some of the pictures I have, yeah.
Say it.
The adopted brother, Ricky,
Uh-huh.
and it still needs to be bound. He was born in 48, I think, and when he was 40, he found his birth mother. It's a beautiful situation. She's still a dear person in our lives, and he went up to meet her and met his half-brother and half-sister and got to be very close with all of them. And to celebrate him finding Lois, I made him this quilt. And so that was a long time ago, because he's now 60-something, and he's a grandfather. And off camera, I'll explain why it's not completed. It will be completed this year, I think. I'll get the binding out. It was a struggle. This was supposed to be the binding, and we ran out of fabric. And I don't keep a lot of them for myself. This one I have to keep, and it's faded. Everything that looks brown was black at one time. So black is not a good color to do a quilt from, but it's a scrap quilt. And I had to take a class to learn how to do it. But anyway, this one is a sampler quilt that I made in the late 70s at a shop in Newington, and then they went out of business. And because I'd done everything by hand, I swore I would quilt it by hand, but I never got to it. So a wonderful friend who does machine quilting did the work on it for me. And she's just so creative. So it's just intense. I don't know how she does it. And she did it freehand with her quilting machine. So it still needs a binding. So 78, 88, 98. It's 33 years since I started it, and I haven't got the binding on yet, which tells you something about how I put things off. It's called Shirret, S-H-I-R-R-E-T, and it's in the center. You're going like this, weaving these strips onto a needle, which then becomes a combination of weaving and using a crochet stitch to hitch it together. So you can't see the stitching in there. But I designed it and I made it. I dyed my material. And that's one of the few things that I keep for myself because it means a lot to me that I created it from scratch, you know.